Pluto square moon natally. Wandering in the wound. Continuing on with the Pluto theme, I'd like to take a deep dive, pun intended, into this very complicated aspect. Let's talk about the energies here and discuss the problems associated with it. If you've listened to my other videos, you know that I like to give tips on how to work through the karma and what the negative and positive lessons could look like. The issues that we have with all negative Pluto aspects are that Pluto causes us to dig deep into issues, and with the square, opposition, and conjunction, we can get into patterns of digging endlessly into problems without any conclusion. We may never develop the tools to climb out of the hole. Think of it like diving deep into dark waters, finding something magical, sometimes delicious, sometimes horrifying, and becoming shocked at the magnitude of its weight. So shocked that we become hypnotized. Just as we are about to see the lesson, we realize we need to go up for air, but we want to linger just a little longer, thinking that we're on the brink of something profoundly healing. With a square to the moon, at this point is where the panic starts to set in. We feel our body contracting, needing oxygen, and we want to reach out for someone to save us, but nobody is around. Pluto square moon is an alienating, painful emotional experience. They do this addicting, deep dive into the emotions to find themselves. They suffer from distrust, sometimes pathological psychology, trauma bonding, and sometimes even stalkerish behavior. These are the people that end up suffering from depression their entire lives. One great example of this aspect is Jim Carrey. Love him or hate him, Jim Carrey has a lesson for us all. He knows the pain of isolation, and he's willing to share the secrets he's found while swimming in that pain. What can we see in this aspect as it relates generationally and within synastry? We can see that our peers trigger a feeling of betrayal and loneliness. People with this aspect often had a lack of parental love, no experience of safety, and no one to show them how happiness should be attained. Or they had periods of loneliness due to parental depression, abuse, physical or chemical, and sometimes, or often, neglect. The household may have lacked proper safety boundaries and may have been dangerous. One of the parental figures could have used spiteful emotions to hurt them on a very consistent basis. They may have also experienced some traumatizing loss so deep that they've changed forever. In relationships, they could have attracted people who see your power and healing and who want that side of you, but they're uncomfortable with the other side. Either they're attracted to the power and hate the healing, or vice versa. The issue is that many planets that are compatible with your moon or Pluto aren't compatible with the other planet. The effect within relationships can be a few different things. It can be very isolating. They might also encounter people who seem safe, but who later put them in danger through drugs or violence. That's not the last of the problems, though. They also exhibit some horrible behaviors when not healed. They may frequently believe that others are capable of handling deep emotions the way that they are, and end up traumatizing people with their darkness. They may find the slightest sense of abandonment as a terrible slight against their trust. They might lash out, or they might leave the relationship altogether. They have a very hard time trusting. The more healed that this aspect is, the more likely they are to inform others of how sensitive they are and to find solutions to avoid those triggers. Karmically, this aspect can be very rewarding. Have you ever heard that love is pain? For some, this isn't true at all, and it doesn't have to be. But for these natives, love blossoms out of pain. The deeper they love, the more pain they're reminded of. As with all karma related to Pluto, the karmic lesson is in building bridges out of the darkness. This is the ultimate and difficult shadow work because it requires us to retrieve the maximum possible unconditional love for ourselves and to carry that torch deep into the dark forest of suffering without letting the light go out. Make no mistake though, this aspect is powerfully healing. Even the smallest flame will help them grow into the deepest lovers. Those who've learned to build this bridge back to themselves will be able to show others the way out of the dark. The deepest lesson of all is to forgive yourself and to love yourself. With Pluto square moon, the natives will hopefully ultimately learn that pain is not necessary in love. They will become able to hold their pain at a distance from others and own that pain. They'll eventually wish to ultimately deeply protect their loved ones from harm by any means necessary, giving a safe landing spot through every emotional struggle brought to them. They can become proficient emotional alchemists, transmuting the darkness into love. Post any questions you have. Thank you again for your time, and please subscribe for my other videos.